Hi, Amy here, and welcome to the 6th episode of Stitch It Pink Flosstube. This is primarily a channel about cross stitch, needle arts, a little sewing, a little quilting, and pretty much just the artistic things and creative things that I've been up to. So I wanted to thank everyone for coming back to watch again today. Thank you for subscribing and liking and commenting on the videos. It's so incredibly kind. In addition to YouTube, you can find me on Instagram at Stitch It Pink as well. Just thank you. I'm filming a little bit later today. I got a text message from my daughter who asked if I wanted to spend the afternoon with her. So that was the absolutely yes. Drop everything, let's go. So we just had a nice little visit, and then I drove her over to practice. So it was great to see her. We talked to her sister for a little bit, which was really nice too. So, one happy mama. Let's see. So today I have a couple of FFOs for the year of the final finished object. I have a couple finishes, some whips, and I did kit up 2 projects. And then finally, I was going to show all of my bee charts now that we're getting closer to like bee stitching season for me. But as I was going through them, and then I started to think about all the bee things I've already stitched and haven't finished, I think I'm going to end up doing just a complete Flosstube extra of just bees, because I have a lot. I love stitching bees. I have a lot that I've stitched. I've had a lot that needs to be finished, and I have a lot of charts. So I think I'll go ahead and do that separate. So today I'm going to show you my strawberry charts, because I am starting to wrap up all of my Easter spring stitching, and I'm going into bees and strawberries before I start stitching patriotic. So before I show you my FFOs, I did want to mention something. I wouldn't exactly call it a sew along. I would call it, or a stitch along, I would call it more of a start along. So Mother's Day is coming up. Mother's Day is May 11th. And I decided to stitch a particular chart in honor of Mother's Day. And I wanted to invite everyone to start with me. So this chart is by Annie, the Proper Stitcher. It's stitching Mends the Soul. And I love it. This is probably my favorite chart from Market this year, just because of the sentiment and the words. You know, I had such a wonderful bond with my mom because of art and stitching and sewing that I really like to stitch this on Mother's Day, or for the Mother's Day season in honor of her. I'm probably going to go ahead and change it up a bit and stitch it in pinks and reds and kind of make them look like us, and you know, stitch with some of our favorite colors. The tomatoes I probably will do in Schoolhouse Red, because that was my mom's favorite of all the flosses. That was her favorite, and her favorite color was red, and that was her favorite red. So I would love if anyone would like to join me in stitching Mends the Soul. Stitching is definitely good for the soul, isn't it? To get this started with me in May. So I'll start to think about what fabrics and flosses I'm going to use and share more with this with you about this chart. I know that it's available at your favorite online shop or your local needlework store. I believe Annie has all of the charts online PDF now, but we can look into that and make sure. So that's something I wanted to mention. The other big thing I did last Friday night was real rainy, and I had a mound of floss that needed to be put away. And I have really good floss storage, and I'm gonna do like a little video to show how I store all my floss. I am incredibly blessed with the amount of floss I have, because I have a lovely collection, and I combined my mom's with mine, and it's pretty good. So I had everything separated by maker and by color, and then the color system wasn't fully working, and then I believe Jordan, the tattooed stitcher, mentioned that she alphabetized hers first you sorted by color, and then she did it in alphabetical order. I did that. It took about 5 hours to do my Color and Cotton Weeks, Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, Color Cotton, Gentle Arts Weeks, Classic Colorworks. Yes, it's great. It's so easy. It is just so easy now. I wish I had figured this out a long time ago. So I'm so happy. That it looks really good. It was easy to, you know, quickly check to see if I had ginger snap, which I don't. I'm gingerbread, but I don't have ginger snap. So that was great. I was really happy to get that done. So that was a really big project last week. And I had a couple good finishes. So let me show you the first one. And we've talked about this a few times, but the first one is Basket Full of Springtime by With a Needle and Thread. So I finished this on a little wooden board from Hobby Lobby. It's from the wood pile aisle, and I used a blue and white gingham backing fabric. What I ended up doing is, this is what it looks like. I ended up just taking my scissors and I tapped out the back, added some hot glue, put batting and then the gingham on, and then I finished the stitch onto sticky board and then put that on top. The flowers here are a combination of the crocheted flowers and also just a little bit of greenery. For the bunny's string, the rope that goes from the bunny's hand to the cart, I just used regular white embroidery floss, just DMC B5200, and I ran it across the beeswaxer first, and that really helped a lot. I like the way that ended up looking. So it looks pretty cute. All set, ready to go for Easter. Then I had another really big finish, a big FFO, which was Plum Street Samplers Friendship Garden. And I made a lot of changes, a lot of color changes. I changed flowers to sunflowers, and I used this chart from Stitching with the Houseflies, You Are My Sunshine, for the sunflowers. And here we go. So when I saw this originally at Market, I knew that I wanted to stitch this in honor of my girls. It reminded me of them, and it reminded me of when they planned Sophie's sunflower wedding. So here we go. There's Hannah and Sophie in the field of sunflowers. And it says, if I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk in my garden forever. So there's Sophie in her wedding dress and Hannah in her maid of honor dress. And I had thought about adding some, you know, like a bow belt and some beads and all, and I just decided not to. I thought it was pretty just the way it was. These flowers right here are actually from the sunflower wedding. There we go. We had like some signage and all around the reception, and we did photos, and then it was like, you know, like on the gift table, it had a picture of my daughter and her son, or my daughter and her husband, like on their front porch, and then we used the Stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla's Pretty Plaids and Chelsea's Checks, these two prints, and like it said, thank you for making our house a home, and then it was a picture of them on their porch, and then these were the flowers. So after the wedding, we sort of deconstructed everything and I was able to reuse some of it right now. So I had mentioned earlier that my girls are 2 years apart, and they are just the best of friends in the entire world. And at the time, my daughter's boyfriend was away at a wilderness survival week, and we had gone on a midnight caper, and on the way home, it was the middle of the night, we were driving, and we went, it was about 40 minutes back to our house, and my girls planned the entire wedding. Daughter was not even engaged yet. It was so sweet. And it was this whole beautiful wedding filled in a field of sunflowers, and they got it all done. It was set and ready to go. So all she needed was, you know, a ring. And that happened quite shortly afterwards. So it was really lovely how it all came together. And it was really beautiful. And I love this. I love this stitch. I love, this is my favorite thing that I've ever made. So can't wait to hang it up. So it was great to have that finished. And let's see, I have some finishes, sort of. I have one finish, and I have one what I thought was a finish. So my first finish was one of the Blackbird Designs stockings. This is the January book, but in the January book, there is a birthday cake. So my oldest, Hannah's birthday, she turned 21 in March. So I stitched the very first stocking for Hannah, and her favorite color is red. And so I made all of her letters and her birthday and all red. And then I did the cake. Hannah loves to bake. So at Christmas time, she made the most decadent chocolate raspberry cake and frosted it. It looked almost identical to this. So that's the cake that I used for her birthday. So I'm going to do one for each member of our family and then turn them into ornaments. Then, you know, put them in everyone's ornament basket when we decorate the tree. So next up in May is my son-in-law Phil, and I think I mentioned this earlier. It was kind of like, yeah, what 19-year-old doesn't want a cross-stitched birthday stocking from their mother-in-law? So last year my daughter got him a like a tropical passion fruit cake, and he loved it. So I think that's what I'm going to do for his birthday. And then in June, it's my birthday and my husband's birthday. So my cake's going to be pink on top of pink with more pink and a side of pink. And then my husband's favorite color is blue, so I'll probably do blue for him. And then Sophie, you know, she Tennessee volunteer all the way. So she'll have an orange theme, I'm sure. But everyone's going to get this green jadeite cake stand, because we all have, me and both of the girls, all three of us have jadeite cake stands. And there is an Aurifil color. I'll have to look it up. I can, if anybody wants to know, I can let you know if you're ever interested in making jadeite, stitching jadeite. It's the perfect green. Or not, I guess it's Floss, not Aurifil. So that was my first finish. And then I thought this was a finish. This is Love Grows Here by Primrose Cottage. But I forgot to finish the grass. So I need to, when I was like getting ready today, I was like, oh no, I was like, I didn't finish the grass. So I have a little bit more stitching on the bottom to finish for the grass, but this is so sweet. It's so cute. I changed the colors. I used 14 count. Oh, and also the stocking was on 14 count lamb's wool. And this one is 14 count light blue fabric flare. And I just changed up the colors to my Easter palette of the year. I went with blues and turned the tree into a cherry tree. So this is just adorable. And I love that Primrose Cottage does this, their Free Stitch Friday program for everyone. It's very kind. And they always share the cutest things. So sign up for their newsletter so you can get the chart and stitch this up pretty quickly. So those are my two finishes for the week. And then I have a lot of whip. Well, not six whips, 6 things I worked on this week. I kind of just started stuff this week. So my first big project has been a daily reminder. I'm counting this as sort of Easter stitching because of the bunny rabbit. This is a start for Tara Sullivan, Silly Stitch's birthday, and I went completely rogue, changed all of it. Here is the chart, a daily reminder from Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. And I mentioned last week how I got it all set, dyed fabric, got the called for floss out, and I didn't like it. It just didn't like it. Love everyone else's. Holly of Mrs. Jones Stitches, it's beautiful. She changed hers up. She used color and cotton conversion, but it's sort of, I would say, in the spirit. She just finished it spectacular. Go check that out. She really did a beautiful job. So I've been calling this Frog Mannor because I keep frogging all the colors, but I'm happy now. So here's mine. I'm really happy with the way it looks. And my daughter Sophie walked in a couple days ago, and I was sort of finishing up what I was working on, and she was like, oh, she's such a hype girl. Everyone needs a daughter like her. And she was just like, oh, it's so happy. And I was like, that's it. That is the best compliment. If someone is to look at my stitching and says that it's happy, I have done my job. I was just so tickled. But so here it is. You can look at everything. I'm really loving it. It's on 14 count, pink gingham. It might be Kimberly's pink gingham. I'm not quite sure. I think that this was made for Fat Quarter Shop, possibly. But, or I might be getting Kimberly's Beach confused. But I am so happy. I'm using primarily color and cotton, and then a couple weeks, and then a Gentle Arts. And then the border is Ruby. Let me make sure. Yes, Ruby from Cottage Garden Threads. The house is Old Fiesta from Color and Cotton. I ran out. I was like literally like 1 inch short. So what I ended up doing is taking out the pink centers of the flower, and I used that thread to fill in the last inch, and then I just subbed it for a different pink for the center of the flowers. But I ordered New Fiesta, and it's orange. It's a really cool color, but it's more of a pink orange, so it's not quite that same pinky salmon. The tree I'm finally happy with. That is Fancy Green Nancy, and from Classic Colorworks, and Mistletoe from Gentle Art. The letters is Delft Blue. The fence is really tealy. Just really happy with it. I know that this is a really big chart, and I'm always like, oh, I need something else. But I feel like this is manageable because if you think about it, it's really broken down into sections. You have your border. I did not do the satin stitches. I'm just doing cross stitches. So you have your border and you have your alphabet. I love Smyrna's, so I have to actually save them because they're my favorites. I really like stitching Smyrna's or eyelet stitches. I know not everybody loves them, but I really do. So then the trees are sort of a component, the house, and then the 2 baskets of flowers. I'm going to change the words. Not that I don't like be good and do good, but something that my grandmother would always say was be kind, and she had 5 kids, and it sort of went down the line, and it's something my mom would say to my brother and I is be kind, and then I would say to my girls, be kind, tenderhearted, forgiving one another. So I think I'd like to add be kind instead, and maybe like I might add another flower or heart. So that'll go in last. But so thank you, Tara, for hosting the Start Along for your birthday. Happy birthday. And I'm really glad that you did, because it kind of gave me the kick to start the chart. And these are all my flosses. They're even quite pretty. There we go. All right, so then the next project in my late night, oh, let's start something new, was Lily the frog. She's so cute. Here we go. Here's Lily. And I am stitching her on 14 count vintage country, or no, 18 count vintage country mocha. There you can see the colors. I changed her colors a little bit. Here are my flosses. And I went from Garrison Green to Guacamole. So I'm using the lighter of the green. And then I changed her dress to Charlotte's pink. It was, I believe, what, red pear and Lancaster red? Yes, it was red pear and Lancaster red. And I went with Charlotte's pink and blue coat red. I thought they just looked a little bit nicer with the guacamole. And then everything else, I believe, is the same. Yes. So Lily's adorable. She's so sweet, and I can't wait to finish her up so she can join Maggie May. So cute. I think the next one I'm going to do is Jenny, which is, I think Jenny's a chicken with her head turned to the side. Really want to do Clovis, but I don't have Clovis yet, so I'm trying to be responsible and stitch what I have first. So I believe Jenny is next on the Annual Cracker list. So that was a fun start. Then my next late night, ooh, what should I stitch? Is a Plum Street Sampler Wilhelmina. And she has been affectionately named Woolly. I have not gotten very far on her, just a little stitching. Her colors are beautiful. I really love her colors. They're just so pretty. So pretty. So she's not that big, and so she'll be fun to stitch. We'll get her done pretty quickly. And then the next is another Plum Street. I've been on a Plum Street kick lately. It's Tomato Hill. And I kind of used the called for colors, more like inspired, and then I changed up my tomatoes a little bit, but here's how far I've gotten. This one is on 14 count lamb's wool. And I love stitching this. I've had so much fun. It's been so much fun to stitch. So I changed my tomatoes a bit. I am using ribbon red and bandana and clockwork. Let me check. The yellow, which is the coolest color. I don't think I've ever used it before. It's called Golden Star. I love this yellow. Oh, the other red is Holly Berry. And then for the green, I'm using steamed broccoli, amber waves, and pine needles. So these have been so much fun, beautiful colors. This is a beautiful stitch, and I have really enjoyed this one. Then last night, I grabbed Strawberries and Stripes from With a Needle and Thread. Decided, couldn't wait another day. I had to start on some strawberries. And I started to grab the called for colors, made a couple changes, but they're kind of in the spirit of the called for. And this is as far as I've gotten. I did a couple strawberries. And this is on the white polka dot fabric flare 14 count, the white on white, or white on coconut, I think. So this is little. It's like 47 by 48. It's really little. It's a really cute finish, and I'm thinking I might end up finishing it in a milk glass compote, I think they're called. But I'll have to see, play around with the sizes, because mine is going to be a little bit bigger, because this was stitched on 36 and I didn't really, it was late, I didn't want to stitch on anything other than 14. So so that was start last night. And then the other thing I did last night, oh, I have one more whip. Now I can like I've said before, like I'm a seasonal stitcher, so I can really tell that I'm getting to the point where I'm finished up Easter. So this will be my last Easter stitch. My goal is to finish it before Easter, and that is with the needle and threads Easter peep. And I kind of been dragging my feet on it, and then I did the head last night of the chick. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute, I gotta finish it. So once I got his little nose and his eyes in, oh, he's adorable. This is what the chart looks like. And I am using, actually these are sort of like my rejected colors from a daily reminder. So they're mostly color and cotton. And then I have pumpkin harvest put in there as well. And I'm going to need to add a light color for the little bunny head. I'm missing that. Or right here. So that is Easter peep. And then I decided to kit up 2 different charts last night to start sometime soon. And the first was Heart and Hand Seaside Tiny Town. That there. And then the frill that goes with it. And I have this piece of 14 count Edith. This is just a blue that I dyed. And I'd like to use this, but I'm not sure if I have enough. And I need to make sure that all the colors will show really well. Because I'm going, there are all the colors. Because I'd like to do this individually, like break it up and to do it into pillows for a dough bowl. I actually put the new Fiesta in here. I can show you the difference between the newer Fiesta and what I had. They're close, but it's a little different now. Still very pretty. But I'm glad that I was able to steal that piece. So some of the colors are Fiesta, Zinnia, Frogging, Mint Chip, Beach House. Beach House is so pretty. I like Beach House a lot. It's a special edition. I might need to go back and get another. Oceana, Buttermints, Silt, Veriter Blue. Egg Yolk is becoming quickly one of my favorite yellows. Flamingo and Petal. So that'll be a lot of fun to do. And then I saw that Holly of Mrs. Jones Stitching and Nicole Spohr are hosting a stitch along, and I think they're gonna start it in May. I don't know if it's stitch along, start along, kind of like open-ended thing. And it's the Mary Bovee sampler. Now, I'll be very honest, when I saw the chart, it's not something that I would gravitate towards. I think it's one of these, the picture does not do justice to the chart. and it was stitched on murky, but murky doesn't really look like this. And I have a feeling it just may have to be from the lighting or the photography or whatnot. So they've talked about it for a little bit, and I didn't think much of it. And then I was watching Nicole the other night, and I took a closer look at it. And then I went over and I looked at it at Stacy Nash's Etsy shop, and I started to think about my experience with the daily reminder, because I've really changed that up. And I'm like, you know what? Let's look at this a little bit more. And it is 169 by 133, so it's not ginormous. It's smaller than a daily reminder. And I wanted to work on, you know, I'm working on this sampler kind of cross stitch wall for my room. And I was like, well, I wonder if I could like do this one, change up the colors a bit, and then change Mary Bovee to Sophia Annabelle. And then, you know, put her initials in it. It has bunnies in it, so she too, you know, she's a bunny girl. And there's a lot of really cute elements. There's like a little dog and stuff. So I decided, I downloaded the PDF, and I'm going to stitch it on the 14 count white polka dots on coconut. And let me grab a little board here. I can show you the colors I've picked out so far. Here we go. These are my colors so far. Let's try that again. These are my colors so far. You can try. My lighting is so bad. I'm so sorry. So mistletoe is going to be my border, vine. And then the flowers are going to be crepe myrtle and bunny nose. These two right here. And then I think I'm going to use the blues for the alphabet. Robin's egg, which is really beautiful blue. I'm going to do as the geometric border, I think. So I probably will start playing with some colors and figure out placement and all for Mary Bovee. So that's a little on the horizon for this week project. And then I stitch slower, and I like to stitch a lot of little things, so I might just go ahead and get started on that. I don't have a ton of treasure this week. I did get my Belle April floss, and my colors for the month are Sun-Drenched Violets, Cobblestone, and Petunia. These are very pretty. Add that to the collection. So spring has officially sprung, and men in Tennessee really like their lawnmowers. They use them a lot. So we've had mowing all day today everywhere. So hopefully the dog won't start barking. She is not a fan of the lawnmower or the UPS guy, and the UPS guy should be coming soon. That's more of a Pigs in Space update. Okay, let's go ahead and do some strawberry stuff, and then I'll give you that Pigs in Space update. So first, I have a couple of finishes that were previous finishes that I haven't fully finished yet. So I think this is Summer House, A Fragment in Time. I could be mistaken, but I think it is. I remember I used to stitch the called for colors, and I was like, I don't like these colors, and then I stitched them and I'm like, these are the best colors I've ever seen. So pretty. I love the way the strawberries looked. So you guys will have to tell me, when you stitch strawberries, Do you make your seeds white or do you make them black? I was thinking about that last night, what the strawberry seed should be. They're white here. It's so cute. We're gonna make strawberry shortcake for Easter this year. And then we have Strawberry Fair from October House Fiberworks. And this was done on 14 count blue gingham from Fabric Flair. And then I cannot remember this one. I feel like it was Jardin Privé, or I'm not 100% sure. But I do remember I stitched in South Carolina when my daughter was at lacrosse camp and my husband was teleworking and I had to be quiet. I remember sitting in the hotel room stitching those chickens. Oh, so cute. And I used all the called for colors. I do remember that. So those are my previous strawberry finishes. And then here are my strawberry charts. These are things I have to choose from. So the first I showed recently, which was Strawberry Basket and Strawberry Quilt from Primrose Cottage. And I purchased the DMC pack as well. And then we have Coupe de la Pen by Collection Tralala. I shared this with the Easter charts. I just didn't get to it. You know, too many charts, not enough time. This is new from October House Fiber Arts, just a strawberry patch. So cute. I have a collection of vintage picnic baskets in my dining room. So I was thinking about stitching this and then hanging it on the wall with the picnic baskets. Thought that could be really sweet. And then from Stitching with House Lives, we have Berry Bakery and the June Vintage Truck. And then Monthly Way in June. I really like the mason jar with the strawberries. I think I will stitch that as a small. And then that striped cake pedestal. Oh, it's too cute. From With Thy Needle and Thread, I have Happy Birthday America, which is a it's a patriotic, but it has strawberries on it. And this comes with the fabric to finish it. From Market this year, Hello Summer has strawberries on it. Then we have a Lizzie Cake Quicket, the strawberry sampler. It's real cute. This is a ton of threads called for. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different colors in it. I believe you can still get this at 1, 2, 3 stitch. This one is Heart and Hand. Berries and Bloom. And I already did Bloom. These are on Icelandic beige, so I need to do berry to match. And then from Little House Needleworks, All Dolled Up, which is Strawberry House. So cute. I really like this one a lot. From Blackbird, we have Sweet Summer Come Again. I liked this so much I bought it twice. And then I have Agnes Platt's Strawberry Sampler. This was a 2013 Loose Feathers. So there's a couple different projects in here. There's some bigger projects and smaller projects, a good mix. And these Blackbird books are just, they're so beautiful to look at. I'm not really a reader, but I do appreciate photography and I love a good picture book. So, see if I can show. I really like the pin cushion. That one will be fun. And then Happiness is Heart Made, Spring Crow and Strawberry. Little sampler. And then we have an honorable mention. Hands on Designs, Blackberry. So those are all of, oh, I have one other thing. One other strawberry thing. So, over, you know, the course of the last couple of years, with lacrosse recruiting, we had to be on the road a lot. And I also did a lot of car stitching at practice and clinics and games and stuff like that. But, so I bought this plastic case from, Fat Quarter Shop. It's covered in stickers. If you have sports kids, you know what these goat stickers are. And then on the inside, it has, oh, if I can get it open, lots of little travel stickers. But this case was so great. First of all, this is how I keep my DMC floss. It's a great way. I'm a big fan of DMC this way. This is my Lori Holt stitch card case. And it has my floss, needle binder, little pair of scissors, like 25 Bucky stickers. And then I have lots of little pre-cut, oh, look at that, lacrosse necklace, because someone needed to take it off because she can, you know, can't play in jewelry. You don't want to get a green card. Oh, Easter Bunny goat, and pre-cut squares for floss cards or stitch cards. So this particular set that I have in here that I was working on is set M, and it's the strawberry set. Just adorable. So that's my little Lori Holt on the go stitch card. Okay, and that's it for strawberries. Let's see what else is going on. It's been a good week. It went by fast. Sophie was cleared by the doctor. She was able to return to practice on Friday. She didn't play in the game this weekend, but she was able to dress and travel with the team, which was fantastic. Was really happy to see her. So we went out, the game was in North Carolina, so we went and watched the girls, and man, they were so close to winning too. It just sort of, you know how sometimes things go the opposite direction at the end. But it was really great to see her to be back and a part of all that. So she's back to practicing this week. So far so good. So hopefully she'll get in this weekend. They have 2 games left. And Hannah down in Florida is doing great. She has I think a week or so classes left and exams. There's a big group project that they're working on. They're growing, her group is growing mushrooms in simulated moon dust, I think. So mushrooms in space. She has a serious case of summer itis. It's hot now. It's hot down in Daytona, and she called me and she's like, it's hot, school should be over. I'm like, yeah, I know. Soon enough. So she's doing well. She's ready for summer. Pigs in Space, if you've been following along, our Disney vacation is going very, very well. My daughter and I were able to successfully sales pitch her father to add a day to our vacation. We totally tag teamed him. It was great. She's my partner in crime. So we were good. We knew exactly what to say, and she was so cute that she said something about well, Daddy, wouldn't it be nice to have Mickey waffles and then make a couple more magical memories? And he looked at me and I'm like, that's all her. So that's really fun. We are very excited because we found out that the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival will still be going on when we're there. And that's our favorite thing. Like, that's my favorite thing. Well, I don't know if you can say I have a favorite thing, but we both really love it. So we're excited about that. We've been doing lots of outfit planning. We need another lounge fly bag like a hole in the head, and we're gonna be in so much trouble when the mail comes today, but it's okay. It'll be fine. So it's been a lot of fun putting all that stuff together. We're really enjoying it. I watched the like a couple years ago for Christmas, I got the kids HBO Max for Christmas for a subscription. They wanted it. That was so I can't remember why. There was a very specific reason why Sophie and Phil wanted HBO. It was maybe like I don't know if it was a Walking Dead thing or I don't know. But so I signed in for the first time and I watched all 5 episodes of the Karen Reed documentary trial. I'm still processing all that. I don't know what to think about it. Every day it changes my thoughts. It'll be interesting what happens. Then, on a happier note, I've been watching a lot of Flosstubes, but something popped up as a suggestion, like after you watch something, and it was Brenda and Laura, Brenda the Serial Starter. It was one of Brenda's episodes of her home tour where she showed her stitching room and she showed all of her samplers. And there's actually, I believe there's 2 videos, and I watched them both. And I have to say, like, I just watched it and smiled. It was such a joy to see her speak about her love of stitching and her love of her samplers and this art and all the things that go along with it. The memories that she really does treasure, that we all do, from time, places, experiences, gifts from friends. And it just left me with such a good feeling. And I get it. And she's just such a sweet soul, sweet sentimental soul. And it really touched me because I know that I am accused of being sensitive sometimes, and I am. I 100% am, and I wear my heart on my sleeve very easily, but I think it's a very good thing too. And I'm glad that I am because it makes me who I am. And I just, it was lovely to see Brenda and her home, and it was nice how she invited everyone into her house. So I hope that she does it again. I know that she's moved her stitching area upstairs, but oh my gosh, what a dream. What just a lovely place. And it was nice that her daughter filmed for her, and it just made me really happy. So I've had fun watching, I always have fun watching Brenda and Laura. I'm watching a lot of the older episodes of Carol the Saltbox Stitcher, who again is another person who I really adore. It's fun, Carol and I up stitching late at night together. Let's see, also I love Red Velvet Quilts and Shady Grove Stitcher. I really enjoy Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher. I'm gonna forget people. Holly from Mrs. Jones, beautiful color conversions. I love Tara. She kind of covers a bit of everything. Tara Sully Stitches. Stitching with the Housewives, I really enjoy. I love, seeing Priscilla and Chelsea and Baby Zinnia and little Cash. It's all spunky and grown up now. So Java Girl has beautiful finishes, and I love Java Girl, just her color changes. I really love her friendship with Anna, and I love the Primrose Cottage family, what they've built together. And I could go on, and I know I'm forgetting so many different people, so I should probably stop and actually write them down. But I guess that's it. I think I'm done rambling. Showed you what I've been up to. Looking forward to Easter. We're gonna have just a pretty nice low-key Easter. Hannah can't come home, and that's okay because she's finishing stuff up, so it'll just be my husband and my daughter and son-in-law, and then his parents are going to come, and we're going to have, you know, a nice Easter celebration and just enjoy some family time and hopefully good weather as the spring rolls on. All the trees have really just burst. So the mountains are behind our house and you can't see them any longer because everything's so green. So they'll come back in November. But I'll take green grass and flowers and leafy trees. But the mountains, man, they are spectacular. I will never get old seeing them. So I hope everyone will consider starting along with me for my Mother's Day start, and we'll see what I get up to. I'm learning not to say too many plans because then I don't do them. Oh my gosh, I was such a bad student. So I'm more of a follows the colors of the wind kind of girl. So, all right, I rambled enough. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your stitching, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.